I do have 6 o'clock. As neither the chair nor vice chair are in attendance, April Sparks, city staff will call the meeting of the zoning commission to order. Not on the agenda, but first item of business. I would ask if there are any nominations to elect an acting chair for this meeting.
I nominate Commissioner Sorensen to serve as the acting chair for tonight's meeting.
Do we have a second?
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Acting Chair Sorensen, the mic is yours.
Welcome, everyone, to the Zoning Commission hearing. Today is August 13th, 2024. Just a heads up for those, especially online. The meeting is being recorded, but also as you come up to the mic, you will also be recorded into the record. Let's start with roll call. You will?
So Chair Harbage is absent. Vice Chair Wilson is absent. Ms. Anderson is absent. Mr. Rundy?
Present.
Ms. Sorensen?
Present.
Ms. Story?
Present.
We have 3 members in attendance, and that gives us a quorum. So if you want to approve minutes from June and July, we can do that. Or if you want to table that until the next meeting, we can do that as well.
I'd like to maybe we can move to approve the minutes. If there's any.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, the minutes from June and July are approved, and we will move on to our public hearings.
I have a zone change from R2 to PLI at 1329 North Benton. This is consideration of an ordinance amending City of Helena Ordinance 3097 in the official zoning map for the City of Helena that changes the zoning district from R2 residential to public lands and institutions, PLI, for the property legally described as the north 9 feet of the east 70 feet of lot 15 in block 1 of the Capitol Hill addition to the City of Helena, Lewis and Clark County, Montana, and the east 70 feet of the south 10 feet of lot 13 in the east 70 feet of lot 14 in block 1 of the Capitol Hill addition to the City of Helena, Lewis and Clark County, Montana, and the east 10 feet of the west 50 feet of the south 10 feet of lot 13 in the east 10 feet of the west 50 feet of lot 14 in block 1 of the Capitol Hill addition to the City of Helena, Lewis and Clark County, Montana, and lot 16 in the west 50 feet of the north 9 feet in the south 41 feet of lot 15 in block 1 of the Capitol Hill addition to the City of Helena, Lewis and Clark County, Montana, and lot 1A of block 1 of the Capitol Hill addition to the City of Helena, Lewis and Clark County, Montana, as described in Certificate of Survey 3300772. This property is generally located on the northeast side of the intersection of North Benton, Euclid Avenue, and Lyndale Avenue. And as stated, the current zoning designation is R2. You can see the 3 parcels that make up this zone change highlighted in red on that map. The applicant is seeking a zone change to PLI. This PLI zoning will unify the zoning with the rest of Carroll College. And the applicant states this will allow them to maximize the usage of the lots for future development. The picture on the upper left is looking north at this property from the intersection of Lindale and Park. It's the east side of the properties in question. The picture on the upper right is looking north along Benton. And then as you can see, there is B2 zoning to the south and R3 zoning to the west. The R2 district provide for residential dwellings and limited non-residential development. PLI districts provide for and applies only to public and quasi-public institutional uses. And our growth policy designates this as mixed use, places where people can work, live, play, and learn. Montana Code 76-2-304 states the criteria and guidelines for zoning regulations. Zoning regulations must be made in accordance with the growth policy and designed to secure from fire and other dangers, promote public health, safety, and general welfare, and facilitate adequate provision of transportation, water, sewage, schools, parks, and other public requirements. In adopting these regulations, the governing body shall consider the provision of adequate light and air, the effect on motorized and non-motorized transportation, a promotion of compatible growth, the character of the district, and conserving the value of buildings and encouraging the most appropriate use of the land. As stated, the 2019 City of Helena Growth Policy designates this area as mixed use. The expansion of the PLI zoning aligns with the current uses in the vicinity and the growth policy. This change in use is compatible with the location along the commercial corridor. The proposed zone change will create consistency with the adjacent properties. This subject property is served by all of the City of Helena emergency services. And the applicant had a traffic analysis conducted, which stated that this will not rise to the level that will require a traffic impact study. They stated that it will only add about 66 weekly vehicle trips, or sorry, 66 weekday vehicle trips to the property based on, that was in the application materials, that's based on current usage and student loads of Carroll College. Transportation, returned a response of no comment. Helena Fire stated that they approve it and that anything constructed will be reviewed for fire code standards. Utility, legal, and engineering all provided responses of no comment, and Helena Police did not provide comment on this project. This proposal aligns with the growth policy objectives of promoting and sustaining Helena's economic vitality, planning for and establishing types and quantities of land uses that support our community needs, and the objectives of supporting land use patterns that promote compatible, well-designed development, foster the fiscal health of the community, maintain resident quality of life, and implement related master plans or facility plans. It also meets the objectives of applying or revising zoning designations with careful consideration, including future land use, compatibility with surrounding land use, infrastructure plans, development of vacant and underutilized buildings, existing and future traffic, and the other goals of the growth policy. It promotes the development of varied and compatible types of mixed-use neighborhoods, and it promotes the development of vacant or underutilized properties. As stated, this would adhere to the growth policy, and it would bring it into alignment and create a more unified use in the area. And as such, it's not going to create unique impacts that are not already present due to Carroll College. This meeting was legally noticed on the 27th. Neighbor notices were sent on the 25th, along with the sign placed on the site. And as of today, we have received 0 public comment. It is city staff's recommendation to move to recommend approval of an ordinance amending City of Helena Ordinance Number 3097 in the official zoning map for the City of Helena that changes the zoning district from R2 residential to public lands and institutions. And are there any questions for city staff at this time?
I have a couple questions. Is the rest of Carroll College campus currently designated as PLI?
Yes, this is the only holdout on the Carroll College owned properties that is not PLI.
Okay. And I guess just generally what triggered this zone change application from the applicants?
So these parcels were previously not owned by Carroll College. There was houses on there. They were within the last few years acquired by the college, and the houses were removed as part of kind of their overall master plan. And this is the first step to get that rolling.
Okay. And I just have one last question. In the traffic impact study, which said that it would add about 66 trips per day or
Mhm.
something like that. I guess what is that based on? How is the property going to change that it's gonna add trips is my question.
So that, let me find their analysis here. So they did their calculations based on the trip generation manual by the Institute of Transportation Engineers, which stated that the average weekday vehicular trips may be estimated based on the number of students. And so they did the calculation of Carroll College provides current enrollment of 1,210 students on a campus totaling approximately 63 acres, giving a students per acre ratio of 19.21. And so they use this ratio to calculate that the zone change of 2.715 acres could potentially generate another 20 students based off that math. The guide gives University College as a range of 1.1 to 3.31 trips per student with an average of 1.56. So that's how they came up with their 66 total. It's just generally based on the existing use. I'm not certain the applicant may be able to speak to what specifically they want to put in there, but they did their standard as a average of the campus as a whole currently.
Okay, thanks. That answers my questions.
Are there any other questions from commissioners? I'd like to invite the applicant then to speak.
Thank you, commissioners.
Hello, my name is Brett Charles. I'm an architect with SMA Architecture and Design, and I will be representing Carroll College. To speak to what Kyle was saying, what triggered this initially was Carroll was pursuing a project, knowing that it was being zoned as R2. It was their intent that with that project, the zone change would occur and it would allow them more flexibility to adhere to the rest of their campus. Due to some events that had happened, that project no longer is continuing forward. However, to allow Carroll the most flexibility, they want to change the zoning to PLI to give them the most flexibility with their campus moving forward.
Thank you.
Yep.
Are there any questions for the applicant from commissioners? Thank you. I'd like to invite public comment on this item.
So for the record, we only have city staff online and the applicant in the room.
Hearing none, we can move to board committee commission discussion. Commissioners have anything to discuss or add or talk about on this topic?
I don't really have anything to add other than I think the zone change makes a lot of sense and it is compatible with the existing land use, especially with Carroll College being sort of wholly situated on that one side of Benton. And it will make it more cohesive. And it appears to be consistent with the growth policy. And at the moment, there doesn't appear to be any significant changes on the ground that would warrant rejecting this application to change the zoning from R2 to PLI at this time.
I'll add that I think the PLI zoning designation is more appropriate for what we're trying to do on that frontage. So I'm also feeling good about it. Would anyone like to make a motion?
All right. I will make the motion and read out the city's recommendation. So I move to recommend approval of an ordinance amending City of Helena ordinance number 3097 and the official zoning map for the City of Helena that changes the zoning district from R2 residential to public lands and institutions PLI for the property legally described as the north 9 feet of the east 70 feet of lot 15 in block 1 of the Capitol Hill addition to the City of Helena, Lewis and Clark County, Montana, and the east 70 feet of the south 10 feet of lot 13 and the east 70 feet of lot 14 in block 1 of the Capitol Hill addition to the City of Helena, Lewis and Clark County, Montana, and the east 10 feet of the west 50 feet of the south 10 feet of lot 13 and the east 10 of the west 50 feet of lot 14 and block 1 of the Capitol Hill addition to the City of Helena, Lewis and Clark County, Montana, and lot 16 in the west 50 feet of the north 9 feet and the south 41 feet of lot 15 and block 1 of the Capitol Hill addition to the City of Helena, Lewis and Clark County, Montana, and lot 1A of block 1 of the Capitol Hill addition to the City of Helena, Lewis and Clark County, Montana, as described in COS 3300772.
I'd like to second that.
Is there any other discussion on this item before we move to vote? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Unanimous. At this time, we are to check on any general public comment for the zoning commission.
We still only have city staff online and the applicant in the room unless the applicant has anything that they'd like to make general comment on.
Next item are announcements and upcoming meetings. Do we have any announcements? Thank you.
So there is a zone change in CUP application combination sitting out there. It's actively being worked on. I don't know if it'll be ready for the September 10th meeting. Kyle, do you?
I thought it was just a CUP. Are they doing a zone change?
Oh, wait a
you're
minute.
talking
Yeah,
about
you're
the
right.
Rodney
You're
Street
right.
one?
You're right, just a CUP. We've had so many of those that it's getting to be like, that's the norm. So there's a CUP application sitting out there. I don't know if Michael's handling it. I don't know if he'll have it ready for September or not. He has some vacation time scheduled in the near future, so it might come to you in October and we'll get to take September off. Actually have a month off, which would be nice. But otherwise, there's not anything that I can think of that is coming before you or anything that we need to inform you of right now. Other than, Vice Chair Wilson will be terming off of the board at the end of September. So if you know of anyone who would be a good fit for the board, please encourage them to apply. And Mark, if you want to have a regular seat as opposed to alternate, that would be something that you could do as well.
Thank you. Any other announcements before we adjourn? Good. All right, with that, thank you. Meeting done.